What if I told you that having just one job is one of the riskiest financial moves you're making right now? What if relying on your paycheck alone is the fastest way to stay trapped in the rat race? Now, this isn't about the hustle. This isn't about having all the extra side gigs. This is about risk mitigation. And today, I'm going to challenge you to break free, to mitigate your life risk. Greetings and good morning. Welcome. So, why isn't one income enough? Too many people believe that just a single salary is or will give them the ability for financial freedom. But the harsh truth is companies downsize, industries change, they get disrupted, and unexpected crises hit both the industry and yourself. And if you're depending on one payoff, one paycheck, then one layoff or one emergency away from financial catastrophe. Multiple income streams spread the risk, boost your financial resilience, and as a bonus, accelerate your wealth building. So, what do we define here? Multiple streams of income. What exactly counts as an income stream? And at its core, any source of cash flow that's beyond your primary job qualifications. Anything beyond your primary job. So let's break it into a few categories here. First, you have your active and your passive. Active is essentially, it's like your 9 to 5. You're trading your time for money. Now, it could be freelancing, could be consulting, driving for rideshare, and your normal 9 to 5 sitting in an office or at a construction site. You're trading your time, your work, your energy for money. Passive income is you set up a system, and once the system starts earning money, there's very little maintenance you have to do. Monthly maintenance, maybe quarterly maintenance, such as rental properties, royalties, stuff like that. And then, of course, the other two categories that I would say kind of go in with the active and passive is your online streams and your offline streams. So your online streams are your e-commerce, your digital courses, affiliate marketing. Offline streams, local services you're providing to physically, being there for your customers, real estate, product sales, in-person product sales. So your ideal portfolio really needs to be a blend of all of these to gain a maximum flexibility. So different types of income streams to consider. We'll list a few here and just cover the basics, startup costs, potential earnings, with some real-world examples. And this is by no means a all-encompassing list. So as I kind of alluded to earlier, freelancing and consulting. Sell your skills. Now, there's platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. So if you have a specific skill set, you go on there, advertise, and sell your services. Startup costs time, it's minimal. Setting up the account, you already have the existing skills. Just setting up your profile on the account. So a couple of days, maybe. Earnings, if you go on the site, some are $10 to $20 to start, and some, if you're high demand, $200 or more. Depending on your niche, depending on, the average rates for whatever you're doing. Like if you're a graphic designer, you could go from $500 a month, maybe even creating a niche where you're earning, say, a niche into logo design for a specific industry. And that could net you up to $5,000 a month, depending on the number of customers you get in. You have e-commerce and drop shipping, where essentially you're selling physical products, but without holding the inventory. Startup costs about $100 to $500 for the store setup. Marketing, 2 to 4 weeks. Scalability is better. You start off maybe earning $500 or something a month, and you could be earning $10,000 a month, but it's going to take time to scale. As you get to adding products and kind of automating everything. So, that's kind of your range. If you, say, opened a fitness store and you're selling products and getting $200 a month, you could be $2,000 a month within 2 or 3 months, 6 months. You just kind of understand your audience. Go to your audience, advertise to your audience. Affiliate marketing, content creation. Again, this is going to take longer. Promoting products, earn commission via your blog, YouTube, social media. This will require you to have a larger audience, try to curate a larger audience. But startup costs low, domain hosting, channel setup, a few weeks. Scalability, $100 to $10,000 or more. But again, as I said, it's going to scale with the size of your audience, potentially with your niche. If you're in a particular niche, growing your audience within that niche. If you have skills within tech industry, for example, maybe focusing on gadgets within the tech industry. Digital products, online courses, creating ebooks, templates, courses, and platforms like Teachable. Startup costs are low, less than $1,000. Tools, marketing, content creation. This is 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks maybe, depending on time and energy. Scalability depends on what you're presenting. You could be earning $1,000 a month. You could be earning $1,000 a year. You could be earning $20,000 a year. So it's scalable based on your content. Once you publish your courses, get everything created for your courses, it's just a matter of advertising and scaling that and finding your audience. Real estate, rental properties. Again, this is going to take time. This is going to take larger investments. So you buy properties to rent out for long or short term. Short term, like Airbnb. Down payments could be 3 to 20% of the property value. So much larger requirement up front. 1 to 3 months to close on the property. And then you're bringing in, depending on where you are, say $1,000 to $3,000 a month per unit. So if to start off small, maybe you buy a duplex and you live in one unit and you rent out the other. So they're essentially paying your rent, and then you scale from there. It takes time for that one. That one's probably going to be measured much more in years once all is said and done, because unless you have a lot of funds coming into it and you could buy multiple properties. Dividend and stock market investing. This one, really low investment. You're just investing in dividend paying stocks or specific index funds. And this one is, $100 or less to get started. You're just going to have have a consistent investment into it, bringing in money into the account so you can invest it, doing your research on which ones provide the best return on investment, best dividends, and different accounts you can open, different firms, brokerages. So you have to find out what works best for you, what you have access to in your country. You're not going to earn great ROI on it. 2 to 6% is probably going to be the best you're going to consistently get. Some of the ones that have a larger yield aren't as great as they sound. So do your research on those. If they're offering 10% or more dividends, pay attention, look into the company. They're probably, the company itself is probably going downhill, so you're not making as much money overall. You're making money on a dying company. But with your overall, your return on investment, your DRIP, your dividend reinvestment, it will grow over time. So you may only be making $100, $200 to start, but as the compound interest happens, it's over time, after several years, consistently reinvesting, that monthly income will grow. But again, that's multiple years of consistent investment. And then finally is going to be your peer-to-peer lending sites. Main one I know about is Lending Club. Start very minimal, but again, this is one of those ones you really need to do your research into it. I think you can get started with as little as $25 per loan that you're funding. And if you're not familiar with those, basically, say somebody wants a $10,000 loan, you offer $25. Well, they need enough people to come together to loan that $10,000. So it could be hundreds or thousands of people each loaning $25 to get to that $10,000 loan request. And then the payment comes back and is divided amongst all the investors. Depending on what category they fall in with their credit rating, you could be earning 2 to 4%. You could be earning 12% or more. But understand, and again, if you're not familiar with these, look into them. And like, for example, an A credit rating, that's one of your top credit ratings. You're only going to get like 2 to 4% because that person is extremely reliable. And you know you're going to get a return on that. But say, for example, a D or an E, well, these are people that either have 0 credit rating or they have a bad credit history. So their chances of defaulting on that loan are extremely high, which means the chances of you getting paid back are very low. So while you will potentially earn a much higher annual percentage, you may lose all of your investment in that loan. So much more risky, but definitely a good alternative for passive income. Step by step to get started. As we talked about, if you're going to advertise your skills, sell your services, do a self-assessment. List your skills. List your interests. List your resources. If your skill set requires tools, do you have those tools on hand? If not, you're going to have to add that into your list of things to purchase to get your side hustle going, get your business going, get your other stream of income. Say you have a new idea, validate it. Get idea validation with friends and family. Create a web page. Try to get some pre-orders out there to see if anybody even wants your services or your product. If there's no demand, it's probably not a great service or a great product you're offering. And I've mentioned number 3 here before: SMART goals: specific, measured, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Go back, look at that stuff, understand what that means for you, but have your SMART goals. Minimum viable launch. Start small. Maybe you have a grandiose idea, but start small. Offering your product, pre-selling a product, seeing what the demand is for it. Get feedback and iterate based on that feedback. Scale. Once you get to a certain point, figure out how to scale. Always be looking at what's it going to take to get to that next level, and what's it going to take to automate certain facets of your new business, new side hustle. For tasks that it's more cost effective, time effective, outsource. Find somebody else that can do it better. Yeah, you may have to pay more than you want, but for the time investment, it's probably a better option. And take any profits, invest back into growth. Pay yourself a little bit too, but focus on growth in the beginning. So now we get into pitfalls and how to avoid some of them. Overcommitment. Juggling too many streams of income, too many side hustles. Be wary of that. Focus in the beginning. Focus on one. Once you get that one up and running, then go on to another. Don't spread yourself too thin. Don't ignore taxes. The tax man cometh. So track your income and just set aside 20-30% for taxes. Bookkeeping and stuff like that is going to be big. If you're not great at bookkeeping, that might be a thing for you to outsource. Don't neglect your core job, your main 9 to 5. In the beginning, maybe even for the first couple of years, for several years, you still need that stream of income. You need to focus on that job, focus on gaining skill sets and growing in that job, so that you can hopefully over time, once you get to a certain point, if your side businesses, your multiple streams eventually come to fruition, you can move away from the 9 to 5 and go out on your own. And then, of course, finally, poor cash flow management. As I talked about, bookkeeping, smartly reinvesting your profits, and learning how to keep some reserves in case you need to pay some unexpected expenses. Mindset. Time management. This is going to be crucial, especially if you're in the beginning and you've still got a full-time job. So set aside specific hours of the week for your each stream of your income. Create your own little calendar for each one, so you know when to, or have a combined calendar to know that from this time to this time you're working on this, and try to keep all your stuff within that for the start. Prioritizing. There's a thing called the Eisenhower matrix. Look that up. That helps you understand important and urgent tasks and how to manage them. Growth mindset. View failures as feedback. Don't take failures as a personal attack. They're not the final verdict on who you are and what your company and what your products are about. Feedbacks are a way to grow, way to target your audience. Daily rituals, routines. Find stuff that energizes you, energizes your routine, helps you focus. A lot of places out there to look of how to wake up in the morning, what the first thing you do, meditation, and your time-focused routines, time-focused on different aspects of these different streams of income. And then find ways to keep yourself accountable. Have friends and family check in on you, see where you are, see what you're doing. Bring their own interests and ideas to what you're doing. And if there is a group that's focused on what you're trying to do, join the group. Maybe a lot of motivation in that group that will help you. So, once you get to a certain point, you're going to be looking at, let's just say, 75% of your full-time salary. If your side business, your side hustle is for, let's just say 6 months to a year, if you're pulling in just with your side hustle about 75% of your full-time, your 9-to-5 job, it might be time to look at scaling, and then it might be time to look at moving over from your 9-to-5 and making this your full-time job. It's going to be scary when you do that. So make sure you understand all the pitfalls. Sit down with yourself, have your weekly or monthly meetings. Make sure you have a stable customer base and a recurring revenue. Consistency. Make sure there is a demand for your product, for your services. Make sure you have a stable operational process, operational systems, a steady team, or a steady, for those parts of your business you're outsourcing, make sure you have a steady group of freelancers that you can go to. And of course, the financial cushion, 6 to 12 months of living expenses when you make that transition, just in case something happens. Don't leave yourself out in the cold. So for the steps of the transition from a side hustle to your own full business, look at starting your own LLC, maybe even an S Corp, depending on how big you think it's going to be. Look at already hiring support staff, contractors, freelancers, to have on a more steady basis. Work on reinforcing your branding. Get your marketing out there. And then plan for benefits. Plan for your taxes. As a business owner, it's going to be on you. This isn't something somebody else is handling anymore. This is all on you. So, now that we've gone through all this, it's your turn. Choose one income. Your challenge right now. Choose one additional source of income. Get started. This week. Get started. What's the first step? Creating a profile, getting a web page, building a landing page, signing up on a platform. I challenge you to get it started this week. And comment below. Which income stream are you looking at doing? You're going to be a contractor? You're going to be freelance? You have a product or service you're trying to sell? Advertise it below. Feel free. And everybody else here, help hold each other accountable. Build each other up. Give each other advice here. And maybe you know someone that is looking to start their own business. They have a skill set that they should be promoting. Share this with them. Share this video. Talk to them. Hold them accountable, like they're going to hold you accountable for starting your own business. And hopefully, you'll find your financial freedom. So, here's your financial freedom. One additional stream of income at a time. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.